What up guys, SuperMetal993 here bringing you another album review, and this time we've got some thrash metal to dwell into today, and I'm going to be reviewing the new Havok album entitled V. This is released under Century Media Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with Havok, they are a 4-piece thrash metal band hailing from the US, and if you don't know this by now, you should, because they have released my favourite thrash metal album of all time, which has to go to their 2011 album entitled Time Is Up. And wow, that album is absolutely incredible, and in my opinion it's an absolute thrash masterpiece. It's got the riffs, it's got the melody, and it's got the aggression. What more can you ask for? And excuse me. And I'm also a big fan of their last album entitled Conformicide, which was released in 2017. And that album made my top albums of that year. I can't remember what position it came in. I know it was definitely in the top 5. Yeah, absolutely incredible album. And it was the first album with Nick Strangelis on bass, and he is my favourite bassist of all time. And he absolutely delivered on that album. So as you can imagine, I was gutted when he announced that he was parting ways with the band. But anyway, I'll leave a link down below of where you can check out my review of Conformicide, but I'll also leave a link down below of where you can check out my little review of Time Is Up in my 10 out of 10 albums list. So yeah, but this is the band's next up, 5th installment entitled V. Now, it's 11 tracks and runs 46 minutes in length, and what can I say? Havok have delivered it once again, the absolute quality thrash that I was expecting. It's riff heavy, and it is an absolute beast, if you ask me. But this one takes on a little bit more of a different approach, because I feel like Conformicide definitely took on a bit more of a progressive approach to the songwriting. I feel like Nick Strangelis's licks and incorporation into their sound kind of ventured them that way, but it really did them a lot of favors, if you ask me. So I wasn't expecting that from for the next album, because with them getting a new bassist, whose name is, by the way, Brandon Bruce, I was expecting them to go back to the more riffier sort of thrash metal that I fell in love with them with on Time Is Up. And they have done that on this album, and in my opinion, it's worked for them wonders, if you ask me. I mean, this is some of the best material I have heard Havok play since Time Is Up, if you ask me, and definitely some of their more catchiest stuff to date. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, every song on this album kills, excuse me, on the riff department, if you ask me. From Post-Truth, which is the first song on this album, it's definitely a great start to this album with that little melody blending into the first track, and then coming in with the absolute riffs. It packs a wallop as well, and it's one thing that I definitely admire Havok for, is their melodies that they pull off on any of their albums. I wasn't a massive fan of Unnatural Selection, and I haven't, in all honesty, listened to their debut album Burn, but every other album has pulled off the melody with absolute superb precision, if you ask me. They're not like a melodic thrash metal band, but when it comes to your stereotypical thrash, there has to be some key melodies in there just to let it just sing out. But the riffs is what I'm here for, the mega riffs, and V definitely delivers that on the home front, especially on two of my favourite songs on this album, which have to be Fear Campaign and Betrayed by Technology. Especially Betrayed by Technology definitely takes the flag of being my favourite song on this album. I just love the lyrics on this song. It's just so catchy and so memorable to listen to. I mean, after one listen, I was singing out the chorus left, right and centre. It was such an enjoyable song to listen to. If you haven't heard that song, definitely give that one a shot, and as well as Fear Campaign. And I might as well add the other songs that follow that, Ritual of the Mind and Interface with the Infinite, are two amazing quality riffing songs as well, and it delivers on the home front as well. And I definitely love the production on this album. It definitely echoes very well with Conformicide. Everything sounds very bright, very punchy, especially the drums here. They pop so fucking well, and I feel like the drum work on this album kind of reflects in a bit more of a groove Thrash Attack going for it, kind of in comparison to the likes of Evile, for example, because they definitely have that kind of thrash groove kind of thing going for them, and I definitely love that in me thrash. I love a groove and a headbangable feel to it, and this album definitely has that factor, especially when it comes to the drum department, if you ask me. But it's still fast and aggressive when it needs to be, but the grooves, it makes you want to headbang. This, from beginning to end, makes you want to headbang. I mean, I had a stiff neck after the first listen, so, well, a stiff neck and something else stiff, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to listen to, and it does give you a good feeling inside when you listen to this. And that's one thing that I definitely have connected well with Havok, because they give me such a good feeling inside, and that's absolutely fantastic if you ask me. But it also feels really aggressive when the vocals come in, and we'll get the vocals in a second. But the guitar work is absolutely fantastic once again. Just played with absolute precision and a lot of attack, and you can feel like a lot of attack in not just the riffs themselves, but the pick and action and all that. It just feels aggressive to listen to, but it still feels fun and enjoyable, and that's something that I think lacks in a lot of thrash, and why I don't connect with a lot of thrash as much as, say, the likes of Havok or Testament, for example. And there's even some classic Exodus, for example, that I can't connect with, but you know, that's just my personal opinion. The bass work is something definitely that I was looking forward to. I didn't want Brandon to think he was trying to be Nick on this album. I wanted him to bring his own flavour and just be himself on this album, and quite frankly, he has done that with prowess, if you ask me. And I absolutely love his bass work, and his tone is so fucking rich, man. Like, I absolutely love this kind of bass tone. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call, you'll have to wait. But yeah, his bass work is absolutely fantastic, if you ask me. It's not quite as technical or progressive as Nick's work, but it is still absolutely solid, if you ask me. So if you want some great bass work, and one of the best bass tones, surprise, surprise, because Conformicide had the best bass tone of 2017, this is definitely one of the best bass tones I've heard in 2020, so make sure you check that out. And I might as well say the other tracks after the interlude, Dabbed Sog, after that, the songs get a bit more melodic, but they still have the thrash attack that you need, and it's still packs the wallet, but it does sing a lot as well. And yeah, what can I say? The vocals on this from what's his name? Yeah, David Sanchez. His vocals are absolutely incredible. I absolutely love his fry, aggressive vocals. Like, they are, they just make me hair stand on it, especially when he hits that one signature high note that he does that just screams up, like pitches up. Oh, it just gets us so pumped up. And one of these days I will see these guys live, and I will just be in awe listening to them. But yeah, absolutely fantastic musicianship going to it. Everything just feels like a cohesive unit, and the songwriting is just absolutely incredible. And one other track I definitely want to talk about is the finale, that Don't Do It, which is an 8-minute long, absolute majestic masterpiece. It's got a bit of progressive vibe in there and a bit more mellow sense of thrash, but that conclusion, man. It honestly took us a little bit by surprise, but when it has the thrashier Havok sound in there along with the sophomore part, it just makes it just so sweet, and I absolutely love it. And I think this is definitely the best thrash album I'm going to hear in 2020. It's absolutely fantastic. By the way, if you just want to let us know of any other good thrash albums to check out that you think I might like, leave some comments down below. But yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic album, and the lyrics are absolutely amazing as well, I might as well add. But yeah, favourite tracks to check out would definitely be Fear Campaign, Betrayed by Technology, Ritual of the Mind, and Don't Do It. Definitely check out all those songs. And for an overall score though, I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic album. It's not quite as good, in my personal opinion, as Conformicide, but it doesn't quite hold a candlelight to Time Is Up, but it is a fucking solid album, and it's definitely not let me down in any sort of way. I just don't think it holds quite as much the same aspect as Come Formicide and Time Is Up. That's just my personal opinion, but it is a solid album. I'd recommend, if you're a fan of Exodus, excuse me, Exodus, Kreator, or what's that band? Oh, it's gone from my head. Testament. Sorry, my bad. If you're a fan of any of those bands, make sure you check out Havok. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. And I'll see you until the next video. And remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.